Hello.
Oh yeah, how you
Good.
doing?
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good, thank you.
Can you hear me well?
I can hear you really clearly. Can you hear
Yeah.
me? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. How's your morning been, all right?
Yeah, it's not bad. A little bit nervous.
Yeah, I get nervous every time before I do one of
The
these.
first thing I did
It's
was like eat soup for breakfast. I'm like, I need my voice because it's like 11 a.m. here. So I'm like, why did I choose 11?
yeah, yeah, it's just 4 p.m. here, so
Yeah.
I've had all day to get myself worked up ready.
Yeah, exactly. This is gonna be like the first thing I speak to.
Oh, thing is, like, nerves are such a funny thing, aren't they? 'Cause we're just talking to each other, aren't we? But there's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I get the nerves as well. It's a strange thing. It's a strange thing.
Yep.
We'll give it a minute till 4. Just let a couple other people join, and then we'll kick off.
Hey, Luke.
But yeah, there's no need to be nervous. We're just gonna have a nice friendly chat,
Yeah.
and then we'll go from there.
Awesome. Awesome.
I invited some of the studios to see if they join as well, because I know you've done a bit with some of the studios, so I've invited them as well. It'd be interesting to see if they drop in.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I forgot that you can like send them the link. I thought they joined
Yeah.
last time just like that.
Okay. Okay, it's 4 o'clock. Let's kick off then. So this is episode 3 of Ask the VP, and today we welcome Sara, AKA Sarokey VP. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. We're really excited about this one. We're really looking forward to speaking to
Oh,
you.
thank you.
So what we'll do, it's the usual format. We'll run through some of our questions from TPM,
Okay.
and we'll mix in some questions that we've had posted on Twitter from the community already.
Yeah.
And when we get towards the end, we'll open it up to the people who are listening live if anybody's got any questions they want to ask live. And then we'll wrap up after that. So to kick off, this is, to be honest, this is my favorite question today, because I absolutely love seeing the pictures of you in your room or your collectibles, your toys, your memorabilia. How long have you been collecting? Have you been collecting a while?
Yeah, it's been over like 10 years. Well,
Yeah.
if you're from like an immigrant family, you don't get allowance, you don't get money when you're younger. So as soon as I got my job, like my own job, half of my paycheck would go to like mangas, anime figures, Funko Pops. I was just like buying things. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, and the collection just kept getting bigger and bigger. And so I didn't like know where to put it. So they would just be in boxes. But now I have a
Yeah.
spare room. I was like, you know what? It's time to make a game room just for me. And yeah, it's just my happy place where I can see all of the things that I've collected throughout the years.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. I haven't got a games room, but if I had a games room, I'd want it to look like your
Yeah,
room.
well, I still like I want to fix our basement and it's a bigger space and I want to like do it like how you see these um cool game rooms like with neon lights and just like white.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to do it like that. But like for now it's just like a cozy setup.
it looks really cool. And do you have a favorite piece or a favorite collection of pieces that is just literally the best thing you've ever bought?
Not like one favorite piece, but the ones from Sideshow Collectibles. The
Yeah,
Spider-Man, the Ellie and Joel. Yeah, those ones are really cool. They look really scary sometimes because they're so real. But
yeah,
for like toy photography, they're so easy to work with because they're so realistic.
yeah. They are really detailed, aren't they?
Yeah,
When you see some of them, they are really
yep.
detailed.
And I didn't know that you can like pay off the figure throughout the year because they're so expensive. I was like, I can never own this. But as soon as I figured, like, oh, you can pay it slowly until it comes out, I started like buying so many. And then,
You can do that. I didn't know you could do
yeah,
that.
and then I immediately regretted it because every month they would take an amount. And I'm like, what have I done?
I can tell I'm going to get in trouble with my wife now. I'm going to be
Yeah,
buying things all over
I
the shop if
already
you
have
do it like
like four things on pre-order, and I'm like, did you not learn from the first time? Like, what is wrong with you?
that. Well, if you got on pre-order,
I'm I want it like I have the Spider-Man No Way Home, the three of them,
yeah.
and
Oh, brilliant.
yeah, I want to get the Batman.
Oh, yeah. Batman would look really cool, wouldn't
Oh,
it?
and the
Really
recent
cool.
one, they just dropped Nathan Drake and Kratos.
Oh,
Th
Kratos. He would look
so
brilliant.
those ones are on pre-order. Can't wait to get them. But it's
Um,
like until it's still 2024. It's not like this year or anything.
oh, you got to wait then.
Yeah,
Oh, bummer.
yeah.
So is that how collecting all these bits and pieces? Is that how you got into obviously your toy photography as well? Because you've got taken some really cool toy photography.
Yeah, like like photography photos in general since I was like younger, but because I
Yeah,
have all these, figures, and when COVID hit, you couldn't go anywhere, and I was just like really bored, so I started playing more
yeah,
around with it, and yeah, it just became a thing because like they're so pretty, and I love anime and I love movies and video games, and sometimes you want to recreate that scene and
yeah,
sometimes that photo that you took in VP. So,
yeah.
what am I supposed to do? It's COVID. Like, I'm just home. So I'm like, you know what? Let me do something.
And do you have, this is a question from Jess on Twitter. So with your toy photography, your virtual photography, and your in real life photography, do you have a favorite to shoot? And if so, why? Or do you like them all the same? You just mix it up a bit.
It would definitely be the Ellie and Joel, just because
Yeah,
I love The Last of Us and the
yeah,
aesthetic of The Last of Us, like the apocalypse style and all the grunge green stuff, that in the world. So every time like I would set up a shoot, it would always have to be like fake grass, and then I would have to make them look dirty. And it's just, I it's like you're back in the game, but not really. So yeah.
yeah.
But those two are my favorite to
And
shoot.
it must take a lot to set it all up then if you've got the fake grass and all those kind of things.
I actually made my own what do you call
Oh, what turf type thing, little.
yeah, like I bought a cart from like a store, and then I just bought
Yeah,
fake grass for you know how you have like a tank for fish?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I just bought a bunch of things and I glued them on that, and then I have like rocks. So every time, so I have different seasons. So every time I need to do like the setup, I would just take that box and put it, and then have my TV be the background and stuff.
Ah, so yeah, you use your TV as the
Yeah.
backdrop.
Oh,
That's genius.
uh, diorama, is that what it's called?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
diorama. That's it.
So I made four of those. Um, and yeah, I just switch between them. I want to make more, but they're so big and they take so much room. And anything like that would hit them, it would break them.
Oh, when you get your basement, then when you get your basement with your bigger room,
Exactly.
you can start making more.
That's why I wanted just to have like different dioramas.
Hey, if you get a basement, you could get the life size models of Joel and Ellie,
Oh
and just
my
have like a
God.
massive one.
Can you imagine?
Oh, that would be awesome, wouldn't
A bit scary, but yeah, awesome.
it? Hey, you could get people to pay for tickets as well. That'd be brilliant.
Oh my God, yeah.
Future business idea. Future business idea. I expect a cut if you ever do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then all the money would go to my next pre-orders.
See, we've got this business worked out now, haven't we? That's brilliant.
Nice.
So, so do you find that whether it's virtual photography or toy photography or in real life photography, and quite a few people have asked about this, Shinobi, Uko VP, and Josh BLM. is where, do you gain more inspiration from, say, toy photography or virtual photography, and does it cross over, or do you just find inspiration from the medium you're using at the time?
It would definitely be the media. So like movies, um, anime shows, even music videos sometimes. Um,
Yeah.
because like I love watching movies and shows and stuff, but when you see that particular scene or the way they shot, that scene and stuff, you just get inspired by the colors, the aesthetics, the way the subject is in the middle or like the side, and you're like, huh, that's an interesting way of, having that scene. And then I immediately just go like to a video game, and it's always Spider-Man, or right now, Horizon Forbidden West, just because like the camera is so um easy to work with that you can
Yeah.
basically create anything just because of the freedom. So yeah, I would just go on that and then experiment, and then if I get like a really good shot, I save the video and then save the photo.
Yeah. No, I mean, Horizon Forbidden West PM is awesome. I always find after I played that and taken photos in that, going to any other game,
Yeah.
it looks like it was made on a
Yep.
potato.
Yep.
It literally,
And like for
it's such a,
for console, I think it's really amazing just because of how much we can play around with. It's not like PC where you have so many options to do, but like for console, it's really good.
yeah, PC players are spoiled with their tools, aren't
Well, it seems complicated, so I don't want that.
they? And do you find that one or the other, so whether it's one or the other, helps you grow in your other medium? So let's say you're doing certain types of illustration and you're learning new things and techniques. Do you find that that helps your VP grow or your toy photography grow? That's a bit of an extension from Shinobi's question. Do
Um,
they help each other?
yeah, definitely they help each other. I feel like VP has helped me with photography, like real life photography and illustration. Like I said, Spider-Man, you have all these lights. If you have these lights in real life, they're so expensive. Like real
Yeah,
photography is really expensive to get into, let alone have a good camera. So with having all these lights, you can practice on your subject and then see where the source of light comes from. And by doing that over and over, you get to understand how it works. And so I apply that to my illustrations because illustrations are so flat, and it's digital illustration. It's not like there's something behind it. It's not 3D. So
yeah,
you always have to like figure out, oh, if their eyes are glowing, where is the sun coming from? And with VP, you get all these camera tools if it's a good one. Um, yeah, you get to practice. And same with toy photography. I think I've said this before, but like I would always have Spider-Man photo mode while I try to shoot something, and then I play around with it and I try to make it as similar as possible to the
yeah,
toy that I'm shooting.
yeah,
It's basically like a photography studio when you
yeah,
have all
yeah.
these equipments and you can run wild with them.
That's really good, really good. Because with I was going to ask as well, because obviously we see a lot of your photography, we do see some illustration bits and pieces. Your illustrations, I think we might drop some in the comments, are awesome.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing your drawing? Is it something that you were naturally born with the skill to draw? Have you learned from studies or experience or any of the other, your photography bits and pieces?
So I've been drawing since I was like 10 maybe. And that's like traditional on pen and paper. And
Yeah,
I never learned the basic of it. So I would always have something like for the base, I would always have to trace it. And then I would draw the dresses because I used to do fashion illustration. And for fashion,
Yeah.
you just need the base. You don't need the face, you don't need the hair, you don't need anything. You just need the model's base, and then you can draw the dresses on it. So I would always, do that for maybe, I don't know, 10 years, and then
Yeah.
slowly transitioned to digital. And so with that, I also don't know like how to draw a head from scratch or eyes. So I would always like, how you would trace the subject, but like you're tracing the
Yeah.
base, and then afterward, like I would delete it, and then I just like start coloring and then start adding things. Just because I need the base to be there, I can get creative afterward.
Yeah. 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 So it's always the place to start from,
And
isn't
it's so crazy now. If you give me pen and paper, I have no idea what to draw. I don't even know how to draw.
it?
Just because,
So it's a lot of the illustrations you do, are they're more planned rather than spontaneous. You have something in mind that you want to do rather than
yeah, yeah.
just doing
Uh,
it straight away.
Not planned, but like if I'm watching a movie and then I see, let's say, like Pearl, and the scene she did, and I'm like, oh my God, that's such a pretty photo. Like that's such a pretty shot. And then I would just like go on my iPad, get the screenshot of it, trace the outline, and then delete it, and then start to visualize what I want to do with it, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense. And then at the like by the end, I'm like, are they similar? Like I put them beside each other and they look different. And I'm like, how did I get a different result when I tried to do this?
Yeah. And do you use the same sort of process with your illustration and your virtual photography? So it ties into one of our other questions about editing. So number one, do you edit your VP? And kind of leading on from that is and this ties in with a question from Bianca Ultraviolet, is what tools do you use for post processing, if you do, and is it the kind of same sort of process as when you do an illustration?
Okay, so I don't want people to get mad,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna say this. I will never, ever, ever an ugly photo on any social media
You'll never,
platform.
sorry, you dropped out a little bit. You'll never what?
I will never ever post an ugly photo on any social media platform, to me. So what that
Yeah.
means, I can't not edit. I have to edit the photo. It's
Yeah.
just because like I have a different TV, and by the time you export that photo to your laptop, the colors are completely different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like
Definitely.
they'll look darker. They're it's not the same colors and the same contrast and same lighting. So I would tweak it to make it look like what I see on my TV, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
I have my own filters, like PSD that I made. I don't know if you're familiar
Yeah.
with PSDs, but it's like bunch of colors and lighting that you did on a photo that you saved. Then you can take and just apply it to the next photo.
Yeah. So like if you're using Photoshop or Lightroom, it's
Yeah,
just like it's the it's the presets that
yeah,
you can
it's a
save the
preset. Yeah,
presets
yeah,
and then you just apply that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a preset. So I made my own. Save them, and so every time I post, it's the same color techniques. I just apply them to that, and then just fix the lighting. It's not like I'm adding snow, rain, grass. You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
editing to make it look appealing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
definitely. So I've learned something today because I always, if I always edit. I sometimes light touch, sometimes I do a really heavy edit.
yeah,
But I'll do an edit and I'll really love the picture. And then when I go to do the same sort of edit on another picture, I've forgotten how I done it.
exactly,
So I need to learn to save them as
yeah,
presets so I can just press the button and do it straight away.
exactly. So I just like
It would-
transfer the file to the next photo, and I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, the colors look a bit off, so I take a couple of things off it, and then maybe sometimes add more just to make it look nice. But yeah, and for the people who don't edit and straight up post, that's fine too. But I just hate the conversation that's always around, oh, if you edit your photos, you're not a real virtual photographer. And it's like, yeah, we're not talking about editing, putting new faces on models, just like
Let's not get into that conversation. I know
exactly.
where that
We're not
conversation
like
will go.
adding, extra things. If
Yeah,
you're doing that, that means it's just a graphic design edit photo,
yeah,
which is
exactly. And I suppose if you're an in real life photographer,
mhm.
you always edit your photos.
Exactly. Thank you. Like for me, the PM, it's a camera, and with my
Yeah,
camera, I shoot in RAW, and so when I open it on my computer, I always have to edit it. So why can't I do that with the PM?
I think it's the whole thing with socials is people love not necessarily an argument, but they love to always have the questions, don't they? I think it doesn't matter if you edit, it doesn't matter if you don't edit.
Yeah,
I think sometimes people just like the social
conversation.
art, yeah, the social conversation. There's not each person will have their own style, their own way, but I don't think there's a wrong or a right way,
Exactly.
even to the extent of if there are some edits where certain things are changed beyond recognition,
Yeah,
and certain things are added. I know sometimes I add rain to shots if I think it will look
yeah,
good. And I suppose it's all of it at the end of the day is an art form, and it's how what vision you have for that art
yeah,
form.
exactly.
And if there's an audience for it, I suppose that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, like with virtual photography, since we all do it, um, we're all connected somehow. It's like graphic design, and it's like you're editing your photos, so you want to be creative no matter what. Just because you're posting photos, eh, like I don't know if I'm making sense, but like we're all loving the same thing, so you're all trying
Yeah,
to do what's best for that shot.
exactly, exactly. No, it makes sense. I think so. I think if you edit, brilliant. If you don't edit, absolutely fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
But so back onto VP then. So last year you were interviewed by Insomniac. So that's pretty cool
Yeah.
and big. How did that come about? Did they just reach out? Did you send them loads of messages saying please talk to me, or how how did that come about?
I wish I was that brave. It was supposed to be for uh International Women's Day, so for
Yeah,
March. They got a group of women, and then they wanted to highlight them for the whole month. And every week they would post about someone. And so
yeah,
mine, because it's Spider-Man, it had to go through Marvel and Disney's approval. And I don't think Aaron at that time knew how long it would take. So I think
yeah,
for them, because they contacted me 3 months before, and yeah, and still like for March, it still didn't go through. And so they posted it later on in April, just on its own. But yeah, it was supposed to be
yeah,
for International Women's Day, but then it became like a separate interview just because of the rights and stuff because of
yeah.
Spider-Man.
You must have been so stoked though to receive that message, or how they contacted you to ask you to do that.
Honestly, like I thought it was fake, but because like I know I followed Aaron for a long time, I was like, no, like no, this is a joke. Like why? How? Like I was so confused.
Oh no, it's so good though. So and Insomniac obviously get involved with the community, and
Yeah.
there's various other devs who get involved. Bend, and I'm trying to think of other ones now. My mind's gone blank. But it's good. It's good that some of these devs and publishers actually get involved with the community that they've created with the tools they put out there.
Yeah. Like they're so humble too, and they're so friendly.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and that reminds me, Ben asked a question, didn't they? So Ben's question, we'll go to that one. Ben Studios asked, "How are you so good at virtual photography?" So
That's not a question.
yeah, no, I think they're just playing a compliment, weren't they? Bless them.
Oh, Kevin.
Um, oh, bless Kevin. We love
Yep.
Kevin. We love Kevin. So with VP, let's stay with VP for the time being. So not only did you get interviewed by Insomniac, but you're also a winner in Red Bull Capture Point competition, and you got to go to New York.
Yeah, that was also a confusing time. Like
But again, tell us about it. Such a massive experience.
I really, really, really hope they do this again so everybody can like have a chance. Of course, I'm gonna enter again because from what I saw like last year or this year, no, last year, it was like a dream that I didn't know that I needed to come true, but it came true. Like
Yeah,
it was such a surreal moment, and first of all, it was like a lot of people couldn't make it just because of how short notice it was. Um,
yeah.
and like that sucks. So other people had to step in to go on in their place, and I wouldn't have it any other way because of the people that I met. We still talk like on the chat. We still keep up with each other. Um, it's such a weird um, moment to be around that many people who know exactly what you're talking about. And if you're talking about a
Yeah.
video game or a photo mode, it's like, I don't know, the energy was just so good. And
So you made some good friends there
yeah,
then.
yeah, for I would say for life. And then we made a pact. If any of us becomes a millionaire or wins something, they're flying us all to their place.
That's a good pack to have.
Yeah, just
That's a good pack to have.
like everybody was so friendly and so creative. Like I remember this moment, and Mick talks about it in the unplugged photo mode, and then I talked about it briefly like on my Twitter. But like there was this moment where we went to the gallery, and they had the entire wall um, playing Horizon Forbidden West, and so they had like couches. And instead of mingling with other creators and like influencers and people from Sony, which we should have, that could open up like future work opportunities. But instead,
Yeah.
we just went on the couch, like sat on the couch and handed the controller to each other while taking photos and showing the tips and like, you know, just being in photo mode, doing virtual photography. And it's just like a group of us, like some of them, like they were sitting on the floor, you were sitting on the couch, and you're just like in a group of people talking to each other, taking photos, handing the controller to each other, and like these influencers and people from Sony and stuff, they were just like around us, watching us and taking videos of us.
Oh, that must have been so cool.
Like I think like when we talk to each other about it, everybody's like, "Oh, I completely blacked out, and all I could see is our group of people only in the room while doing virtual photography."
Yeah.
Like nobody paid attention to anybody in the room, which was like such a cool moment, and that I would never forget, like just the entire experience of that.
So was it? So what was the whole? How did the whole thing go about? So obviously they had a gallery. So was it turning up at the gallery? Obviously you done the bit on the couch with the photo mode. Was there anything else there? Was that you were just invited to the gallery? Then you had a couple of days there to look around, or were there any other event type things organised?
So it was like a full 3 days event organized. So the first day we got to the hotel, got to know each other, and then went to dinner, and then the next day we had a photography class. And then they gave us, like all of us, they gave us cameras, the Sony cameras, and then we went out
Yeah.
with the group to shoot. And then we kept the cameras for 2 days, I think, and then they wanted us to shoot, and then went out to dinner, went out to sightseeing places, and then I think it was the last day. It was the gallery, but like you would do like activities in between.
Yeah.
It wasn't much free time for everybody. Only at night, like if you wanted to leave the hotel, you could do that on your own. Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, the gallery was the last day, and then went to the gallery, and our photos were all displayed. Um, like so, each country had their own what do you call it? Like
Display.
yeah, like a style of wall, and then they would
Oh,
have
yeah.
those people, and then it would have like the runner up, and then it would have the person who won that couldn't make it, but still have their photos there. And but the people who came in, like made it, they still had their photos there, even though they didn't win first place.
Oh, that's really cool, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and yeah, like there was like a bunch of cocktails. We didn't know the Red Bull cocktails meant alcohol, so we were just like drinking, 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 and then everybody's like, "Do you feel weird? Are you shaky?" And it turns out all the alcohol that we've been drinking had Red Bull in it.
Oh, brilliant. And did you then try and do VP while drunk on Red Bull and
I
alcohol?
think that's why we were like in our own space, like we were on our own like planet, just because of that.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds absolutely awesome. No, I definitely hope they do it again. I think they probably will. They've done it the past couple of years, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah. And also everything was on Red Bull. Like if you would go to a bar, if you go to eat, just say I'm with the Red Bull team, and whatever you order, whatever you drink, whatever you do, everything is on them.
Oh, can you imagine the bill they must have got afterwards? That must have been
Yeah,
massive.
like even Ubers, like they would take us, it's a 10-minute drive, sometimes 5 minute. It would take because of traffic there, it would take us about like 30 minutes to get there. And the bill for the
Yeah.
Uber, like you could see it on the machine, it comes up to like 80 $80. And
Whoa.
it's like you're paying all that for all these cars. It was crazy. So definitely
The good thing is, no, carry on, carry
Uh,
on.
like if it happens again and it's open to more countries, please, like just do it.
I'll be entering numerous photos in it.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll be loads in there.
exactly, yeah. And it's funny because I only did 4 photos.
Did you have a maximum you could put? Was there different, different, oh, what's the word? Different categories?
Yeah, it was
Or was it?
it
Yeah,
was four different categories, and then I entered for each category like 4 photos, sometimes three or two,
yeah.
but I don't know. Well, I kind of did it as a joke with my friends, and I was like, guys, it's open to Canada. Can you imagine if I do it and win? Like, I'll take you all with me. And then they're like, do it. So I did it, and then it happened. And I didn't even have my passport at that time. And they told me 3 weeks before the trip. So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
for 2 weeks, I was like panic mode, um, getting my
I'm not
passport done.
surprised.
And then I also asked them like if I can bring someone with me, and they said, okay, yeah, I can. So they added him to everything on the list. So the only thing he didn't pay for was the flight ticket.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing. It just shows their dedication to it as well, doesn't it? For them to invest all of
yeah,
that into it, it just shows how important it is to them, which is great to see.
yeah.
Great to see.
It definitely the energy that I got, the vibe that I got from the people who were involved. They really love virtual photography and they want to take it to the next step. But it's just because it's a small niche at the moment, it's kind of
Yeah,
difficult to convince bigger companies to get into it.
exactly. Because I think, I don't know about yourself, when I talk to people about VP, they just say, what?
Yeah,
They don't get it. They get video games, they get photography, but they don't get taking
yeah,
photos of video games.
exactly.
I kind of get where they're coming from with that, but we can obviously all see from the community the amount of new people coming on, the amount the community's growing. So hopefully,
Yeah,
the bigger it gets,
yeah,
then they can
exactly. Like
move on.
the first year, it was open to 3 countries, I think.
Yeah,
And then the amount of submissions they got were like overwhelming. So they're like, if it's only 3 countries and we're getting that many people to participate, Imagine if it's open to more countries. Like, how big is it?
It would be massive, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Absolutely massive.
yeah.
So we'll stick with VP. Thanks for that. That was absolutely brilliant. We'll stick with VP, and what I'm just going to say is, in a probably about 5-10 minutes, we're going to open it up to anybody listening to ask if they've got any questions. So if you put in your speak requests now, we had a few technical difficulties last time. So put your speak requests in now, and we'll come to the live questions from the community in a couple of minutes. So you've obviously we talked about your interview with Insomniac. We've talked about your love for Spider-Man. We've had a question from the community, which is, what is the best photo mode in a video game? I'm going to assume you'd say Spider-Man. Is that right? Or would you choose one, Horizon Forbidden West? What's your favorite photo mode?
Hmm. I don't really have a favorite, but those two are my top two. For the lights, for Spider-Man, I do like that, but I prefer time of day with
Yeah,
Horizon, just because the lights are softer. If you know, like every photo mode has their own thing, but those two come to mind when like with freedom control.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I always find the lights in the Somniac games, it's great to have the
yeah,
lights. I can never get the settings just right. They always look, like I said, too hard.
yeah,
Whereas if it's the time of day and created by the natural light from the time of day, it has that softer approach, doesn't it? Like you said.
exactly. And you can do so many different shots with it, just because when you're changing time of day, like how the sun is, it gives you different shadows to things. And like your subject is in the middle of it, and then you're just getting these different patterns on them. So
Exactly.
I prefer time of day over lights, but lights are still, and also I really want this to happen in the new generation of photo modes. Have a animated animation mode where it's like live, where the like talking about the ascent again. That photo mode
Yep.
is insane. The fact that it's still like animated while you're in the photo mode, like you can
Yep.
create so many things.
Because they had that in Ghost of Tsushima as well, didn't they? That you could have the animation turned on and off.
Yeah, but only for like particles and like the grass.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
So absolutely everything. So the movement, the
yeah,
background, everything going
like
on.
for the NPCs, like they're just walking around. Even time of day changes. That would be amazing.
Oh, could you imagine if they had a photo mode with all the things we loved in one photo mode?
Yeah, that'd be
It would be absolutely
that
brilliant.
would be impossible,
It,
but yes.
it would be the ultimate photo mode, which leads in to another question we had from Cinemane VP. What would be the ultimate game that doesn't currently exist that you'd want to create virtual photography in?
Hmm. Okay, so I thought about this. Um,
I thought you probably would have.
so I love Studio Ghibli so much.
Yep.
We've never had a game like Studio Ghibli. Like, the movies, Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, My Neighbor Totoro. Imagine having a video game with all these movies and you're able to shoot them. That would be
That
amazing.
would be awesome.
Like, that would be really cool. Like,
So it's kind of your own personal movie playlist, but with a photo mode.
exactly. Just because, like, they have, the water, like, the water looks really good, the clouds, the flowers, the small towns, like everything is just it's so magical. And if you have like a game, especially like in Kiki's Delivery Service where you have the bakery with all the bread and like the color palette that it is,
Yeah.
that would be a dream.
Oh, that would be good.
And also,
There's got to be somebody who listens to this, whether it's live or afterwards, that can make that
oh
happen.
my God. Well, I saw somebody on Twitter, they did like a pixelated Kiki's Delivery Service video game similar to Animal Crossing, and
Yeah.
that looks amazing. Why hasn't anybody done that?
I don't know. Is it too niche? for video games
I think it's like
or not?
a
I don't know.
rights issue because like Studio Ghibli,
Oh yeah,
they
yeah,
don't have any merchandise like figurines. Um, they might have them in Japan, but like outside of Japan, they don't have that many things. Like, Funko Pops, official figurines. Um, they do have like postcards, sometimes shirts, but nothing, major.
yeah. I think we need to get that to happen, don't we?
Yeah,
We definitely need to get that to happen.
definitely.
Okay, so we've talked about the photo modes you like. We've talked about the games you like. So we talked a little bit about editing. So obviously, on the subject of editing, on your YouTube and TikTok, your content is full of your VP shooting videos, how you put the shots together. You kind of give a little bit of commentary and talk through them as well. Which leads me to the first question. Do you use a voice changer on your YouTube?
Yes.
I thought you did.
Do you think I sound like that? It's the TikTok voice, lady.
I'll be honest, I had a little bit of a tip off from somebody you know. So I said I'd slip that question in there for him.
No, because like they had the TikTok voice change for like, I don't know, a year or two, but only
Yeah,
only in the US. And so I was dying to use it, but like I wasn't courageous enough to like use my own voice in YouTube.
yeah.
But like after this, I'm gonna use my voice just because like I did this. What am I so afraid of? So,
No, it's really good. So what prompted you to start doing those videos? Did you just want to like share a bit of how you put things together, pass on like tips and bits and pieces? What prompted you to start sharing that part of your process?
I've been thinking about it since after we got back from the Red Bull trip, just because like we had that whole experience at the gallery where we all like gave tips to each other and how we do things, and seeing people's reaction on how I do things, and taking away like, oh, that's a really great tip, like I'm gonna actually use that. I was like, wait a minute, why can't like it would be more helpful and it would get more people into VP if I started posting longer videos and then showing them my progress and everything. And also, like, I
Yeah,
was bored and I wanted to watch videos on VP on YouTube. Just like, when you're just sitting in your room, have nothing to do, you just want to play a video. And I couldn't find many. It was just like three people, two people. And I'm
yeah,
like, wait, if nobody's like doing this, I'm gonna start doing it. Hopefully, more people will get to do it. Um, bring more people in. Build a community. Like more people in the community have, and if it can help someone, why not?
exactly, exactly. I watched your God of War one. So yesterday, we're not going to get onto the photo mode, but that it made me laugh listening to that one.
I have
Yeah, that is a good one.
many thoughts, many angry thoughts.
What we'll say is, if anybody wants to know what those thoughts are, just
Just watch the video.
hit Sarah up on YouTube and watch her video about God of War.
See,
Um,
this is
yeah,
this is also why I used the voice changer, just because I was kind of angry, and then the voice changer kind of made it. I wasn't, but in real life, I was just like shouting, like I was,
you know, shouted into your microphone.
"What are you doing?"
It just comes out, and I did not like the photo mode.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it was really, really good. So, have you got? We always end with the same question before the community questions. So, you've obviously you're sharing a bit more of your process so people can learn from it. But have you got any tips or any advice for new or existing VPs? Probably more aimed at new VPs just coming onto the scene. They don't know what to do. They want to kind of get out there. Have you got any tips or advice that you would impart for them?
Well, the first thing, always have fun, and don't let any social media platform or any amount of likes take your hobby away. If you're loving what you're doing, why does it matter to any like anybody on social media if they like it or not. Like,
Well said. Well
and
said.
also, like, you can have 700 likes in one post and then have 5 in the next one. Like, who cares? 700 people who saw it and liked it, they're just like, okay, saw it, liked it. If you have like maybe 5, 10 people, and just that one person who saw it is interested in work opportunities and contacted you, what does 700 likes do that 10 doesn't?
Exactly. Exactly. I think it's too many people get hung up on the amount of followers, the amount of likes,
Exactly.
and it and lose the enjoyment of it. I see a lot on Twitter of people saying they're taking a break from
Yeah.
VP or they're not getting enough likes. They don't know whether they should do it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing it if you're just in it for the
No,
likes.
like even
You should be doing it because you love it.
Instagram is like even worse because they don't even care about photos anymore. But like I've said this a million times, I am never going to let a millionaire ruin my hobby. Like I'm doing it for me. I'm taking these photos for me. I'm learning for me, nobody else. So do like start doing something that you love for you.
Exactly. And that's the most important thing. If you love it,
Yeah,
that is what matters.
exactly. Why does it matter
That is what matters.
if you get, 1,000 likes or less?
No, I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
That's exactly how people should think about it. So that's the last of the TPM questions. We've asked the Twitter community questions. Now's the fun-filled time of seeing if Twitter Spaces works and let somebody else ask a question live. I can see I've got one request coming already. I knew he wouldn't let me down. Shinobi's put in a request. Let's approve his request.
I knew it was him
Get
too.
him on live. I knew if he could make it live that he'd come on and ask a question. Shinobi, you can now speak. Oh man, what is
Yeah,
your question for Sarah?
hello there, Sarah.
Hey,
Thank you for all
Shinobi.
the great talk so far. You just absolutely, you guys just ruined my question by the last part of your speaking, because I was about to ask about Twitter and Instagram and how do you get likes.
You don't.
No, but like seriously, yeah, I mean, I totally get what you say, and I agree on everything you said. I would even add that the people who are really wanting a lot of likes and attention and stuff like this, I always want to ask them what will they do with it once they will have it. Like you
Thank
can,
you.
right? I mean, people want
Like,
attention and stuff, but then what? You do what with the numbers and your 15K followers or
yeah,
whatever if you don't do anything for the community or for growing? I don't know. I mean, it makes no sense to me. So, anyways, it goes
yeah.
well with your what you said about the why you started doing your videos, because you wanted to see one and you couldn't find one, so you did it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what everyone
And
should do.
it's always been like a thing uh, I always think about, like, when you have movies and you don't have diversity in movies and
Hmm.
everybody complains, it's like, oh, why is there diversity in movies? That comment always gets thrown around. Well, if you want diversity, make your own movie. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
definitely.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
if I find something, I'm not going to complain about it. I'm going to start doing it. And hopefully more people can join in and do that with me.
Definitely.
Uh, Again, it's the pitfalls of social media, isn't it? People like to have an opinion
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, you're right.
But yeah, but I'm all for, like you say, Shinobi. It's if you're popular in the community or not popular, is what will you do with it? Do you want to give it back? I mean, obviously, like yourself, you like virtual photography. You've got quite a good following, and the amount of decent photo modes we've had because you've given back and you've got involved in making those photo modes,
Hmm.
and other people get involved in doing different things. Is if you're in a community, and you're just after it for the likes.
You know, I mean, just on that, I did have this talk a lot with Chris in session, if you guys remember him, because he's not a lot on Twitter anymore, but he used to complain a lot about not getting the attention he needed, because he needed it because he wanted to get a job in this. He was already working with Ubisoft a long time ago, and then he used a bit of the in Twitter and stuff as a portfolio, you know, and you want to prove that you are active, that you are popular and stuff. So I get it. Some people really needs to grow a community or something to fulfill the goals. But if it's just because you think your photography is worth 600 likes and you just have 200 and then you complain, yeah, fuck off. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's sorry guys, I'm French, I don't care about the words. So anyways, my question was still do you have, Sarah, do you have a specific way of posting, or maybe a timing between retweeting your own stuff for different part of the world to see, or anything like this? Because even though I'm not a big fan of likes and stuff, I still want my pictures to be seen. So I try to find the right timing and not share too many, not share too few, stuff like this. Do you have some kind of this kind of stuff?
That's actually really good. I usually post once a day, maybe sometimes 2, 3 times. But I always post like Canada time, 12 a.m.
Okay.
Just because everybody is on that time. And if they take the retweet option, we're all screwed.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like we all have different time zones, and then I retweet my stuff. Maybe like I would post it, go to sleep, wake up, retweet it, and then go to work. 2 hours later, retweet it again. 4 hours later, retweet it again, just because the
All right.
different time zones. And so I post at 12, but then I would retweet it about maybe 5 to 7 times during
All
the
right.
day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
just
lot, actually.
yeah. Like every time, because I'm not on Twitter, but every time I open the app, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna retweet it, and then somebody else sees it, and then
Yeah, definitely.
like I said, like I don't know how to say this. It's not about the likes; it's about the right person seeing it.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Gorilla or like Insomniac, not like the community managers, but like the devs, if they saw it and liked it, that just means so much to me. And
Yeah.
that's
I get
all
it.
that's all I ask for. And again, like I do want a job in VP and like video games and stuff, but I'm always shy to even, have a discussion about that. So I just stick to posting photos. And, if the right person saw it and they can contact me, then, we take it from there. But yeah, that's literally what I do.
Great. All right. I never noticed that
It's good.
you retweeted that much, and it's comforting for me, because I'm always, when I retweet my own stuff, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want people to see it like too many times. Even when I answer comments, I try to spread out my answers, not to have a wall of my own tweets on
Yeah.
people's TL. But yeah, that's great, because it never bothered me to see your
No.
retweet. So it's good to know.
I think it's a really good way of doing it too, because like you're not you're not constantly posting photos over and over and over to get like, the algorithm on your site, but you're
Mm-hmm.
just like having a bit of movement in your post. And I also like when people don't comment right away, they do the likes and comments throughout the day
Okay.
and
Yeah.
throughout the week, or like however I have until I have a new post, just because like it keeps the post alive
Yeah.
and moving.
Yeah. I'm so grateful for comments over likes,
Yeah.
because by the way, I give a tip to you guys if you listen and I had the same question. I discovered this week the way to get likes. It's really easy, actually. Everyone can do it. You just post Ada pictures from Resident Evil 4. I posted three tweets. They all made 1K or 2K likes, like all of
Wow.
them. And I posted one just before we started this chat, and it's going to the 1K as well. I'm sure it will be. So yeah, that's a real trick. Ada Wong pictures, and you covered. That's really
Can
cool.
you send me some on the DM, and then I'll post some for you as well. I'll help out.
Yeah.
Hey,
The
I
trick
mean,
is you got to take the pictures first.
yeah.
That's the problem.
Damn it.
I mean, she's gorgeous,
Well,
so that's
Yeah,
understandable.
it's too easy.
she is gorgeous. She is gorgeous. Well, thank you for your
Thank
question,
you so much,
Shinobi.
Sarah.
I think we've got.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
You.
And by the way, just for the Red Bull stuff, please next time you enter and you win, make the judges come with you guys, because we were not invited, and I'm so angry about
What?
that. Yeah, we couldn't fly to New York as the judges panel,
Oh
but
no.
yeah. So next time the +1, make it me. Like, can
Mick,
I
Mick
come
was
to?
there. Was he a
Yeah,
judge
Mick,
too?
but Mick was organizing the judge
Oh, I see,
panel.
I see.
So all the sub judges that we were, Berdu and everyone who were just simple judges, we couldn't
Yeah.
go there. But maybe next time, if they do it again, I
Man,
surely,
I really hope they do it again.
yeah, we'll see.
Like,
Fingers
what an experience.
crossed.
It was super nice to see you guys enjoying that. So yeah, and great shots.
And
Congrats again.
seeing that car at the Brooklyn Bridge, I think it was called.
Yeah.
It's a Formula One car.
Mm-mm-mm.
That was cool.
Yep.
I don't know anything about cars, but like, I looking at it was just like, oh wow, they actually got a car here. That's insane.
Yeah. They have no problem with money, as you said, and you saw
No,
with
they don't.
Yeah, they paid well. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
So like for me, I brought my friend. They gave me a $500 Visa card to spend.
Nice.
They gave me a bunch of like swag, a suitcase, and yeah, it was just like money being thrown at everybody.
Yeah.
So I think what we all need to do is we all need to get a job at Red Bull, because they obviously pay really good wages.
Yes.
Yeah, and you
Like,
guys enter next year if they do it. Enter, because we really had not that many shots.
yeah,
I mean, really, for 5 countries, it was supposed to be 9 countries at first, but
yeah,
rules and stuff, it was really a mess between Red Bull, Sony. It was really complicated to have anything moving. So anyways,
yeah,
we ended up with just 5 countries. But yeah, some countries had really a bad communication about the contest. So there were
yeah,
no one entering. Like for Sweden, no one entered. Netherlands, no one entered. So that was really a shame, because this was really just communication problems. So the
yeah.
website was a mess. A lot of
And it was supposed to be Forspoken too. It wasn't supposed to be Horizon.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I'm so glad it was not
Yeah.
Forspoken.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
let's not get started on Forspoken.
No. I'm not saying like I haven't played it. I want to play it, but I'm saying like everybody's so familiar with
Yeah, no.
Horizon that they have more creativity instead of having a new game and figuring out how to actually do the themes for the shots.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's it for me.
So-
Thank you so much, Sarah and Dave, of course, for the great format, and have fun. And I leave my mic to the next person who wants to talk.
You certainly.
Thank you.
Thanks, Shinobi. So we have got 2 more people coming in. First we've got Cinemane VP. So let me just approve your request, and then you should be able to speak and ask your question. And there we go. Cinemane VP, how are you?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Hey,
you.
how you doing? Sorry, I'm driving, so it might get loud. It's hailing and stuff.
We can hear you.
All right. Sorry, my question Can you name anyone in the community who was a big inspiration to you, or who you learned the most from when you first started out?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Um, hmm. I would definitely say the people. Not, it wasn't like somebody in particular, but it was um the channels, the VP channels. So like the network VGP network, I think, and then
Yeah, VGP
yeah,
network. Yeah.
and then you guys and Capture Collective and Gamergram. It was just like a nice support to get into, and everybody was like really nice and supportive, and so it just like pushed me to post more, and then I found more people like Evie is a big inspiration, Kuwala too, and obviously like Ruben, like his work. Also Steffi, like you know, she's really like nice and so friendly, that I just wanted to continue be around people like that, like as
Yeah.
friends. So yeah, if that,
And that's the thing. A lot of those people you've mentioned there are also really nice people, and
yeah,
people who I personally have asked questions and stuff about VP.
yeah,
So yeah, they it's not just the pictures they take; they are genuinely
yeah.
nice people as
Like
well.
if you have a question and you would ask them, they are happy to help. If you're curious about something, they don't like shy away from saying, "Oh, this is like my style. I don't want to give too many things." No, they're like genuinely helping you, and they're really nice about it too.
Exactly. Great question, Simone.
All right, thank you for granting.
Thank you.
No problem. Good to speak to you. So we've got time for two more questions, and luckily we've got two more people wanting to ask questions. So we'll go with Barry first. So Barry, I'm just sending you a request to speak, so you can ask your question. Can you hear us, Barry? This will be embarrassing if it doesn't
I
work.
think it was my fault. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Barry.
Great. Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Wow, I did
I
not
can't.
expect your voice to be like that.
Oh, is it good or bad?
No, it's good.
Okay, good. Thank you. I have a few questions. I mean, I've been a fan of yours for a while. I really love the aesthetic that you have in your shots. Always
Thank you.
colorful, always interesting. I'm always wondering, like, where do you find your inspiration? I mean, I know at times when I go to shoots, I don't really know what I'm going to do. Sometimes I let the game dictate what happens. So I'm just
hmm
curious, like, how do you find inspiration?
Um, well, again, go back to, media and movies. Like my
Mm,
favorite directors, Guillermo del Toro, Wes
okay.
Anderson,
Mm,
Hayao
Wes Anderson.
Miyazaki, but like my shots don't necessarily look like their movies.
Right.
It's just something like they inspire me to, you know, to do something, and be
Mm,
creative. And then if I'm like playing a video game, and then I just like say to myself, "Oh, I feel like doing a red set. So I'm going to find anything in the world in that game that is red, and I'm going to try
mm,
and shoot it. I'm gonna have my subject be next to like things that are like red, crimson, like those dark colors, and I just want to have like a four set of photos that are similar to each other, and then try to play off the aesthetic to one another.
hmm. It's interesting. I see you're a Wes Anderson fan. I'm curious, have you seen his new trailer for Asteroid
I
City?
am so excited. I am going to be waiting in line before the movie theater even opens.
Yeah, it looks great.
It's just like,
The color palette alone is
yeah,
stunning.
like his sets and his color palette and the way he shoots, like the cinematography of it all. It's so
Hmm.
interesting, and it's so creative. Like you don't even see it in my work in particular, but it's just like the way that he thinks inspires me to do
Yeah,
something of my own.
that's cool. Yeah, I'm a fan too,
Yeah.
so I appreciate it. Another quick question, if I may. I came a little late, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating anything. But I'm curious as to where you see virtual photography heading, or what you think would be good for virtual photography as a medium in the future.
Wow, that's a really good question. Um, I think maybe in 5 years it's gonna get bigger and bigger. We need more people in like who know about virtual photography, like in the community. Not even in the
Mm,
community, just somebody who knows about cameras to be
right.
hired and involved with the studios. And
Yeah. Right.
like to this day, Days Gone is still trending on Twitter. Like let that sink in. The game has been
Yeah. No.
out for
Yeah.
how many years? And the community is still trending it on Twitter. So at the end of the day, it's still free marketing. And, Sony
Mhm.
PlayStation would be really stupid to not take it an opportunity and, like, give more jobs to people who know about it and just make it bigger. Because, like, we heard about, E3 and the big rumors that have been, you know, happening for like a really long time. These studios don't want to pay so much monies to be included in E3. They rather do their own thing. So
Right.
VP, in a way, it's like giving like free promotions to everybody, to every studio, and people are like, because it's a hobby, and everybody's enjoying what they're doing. It still works.
Mhm.
Exactly, and it's free marketing, and also, if they're looking to make changes to their photo modes,
Hmm.
or maybe get games who don't have photo modes and they want a photo
Yeah,
mode, they've got a massive community of
yeah,
consultants.
yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah.
especially indie games with seasons, they have like the photo, and it's a really simple thing, but people will continue on to post about it even though it's a small indie game.
Exactly, and I've seen Mick's been posting some pictures from that game, hasn't he?
Yeah, yeah. It's really good.
I've yet to play it myself.
The only
Thanks,
Well,
Barry. Have you got
yeah.
any
Thank
more
you.
questions, Barry, or is that
I
is that you?
I think I'm good. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you including me in the conversation.
Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for joining us. And we've got
Alrighty.
time for one last question. I think we've got Ash waiting to ask a question. Let me just enter your request. And as if by magic, he should be able to speak to us. Are you there, Ash?
Hello, can you?
Hi, Ash. Yep, we can hear
Yeah, can
you.
you guys hear me?
We can indeed. What's your question for Sara?
Okay. Hi Sarah, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I have a question. I think you already know about this. I'm a big fan of PlayStation's all PlayStation games photo modes. There, there are some of the settings that some other games don't have, like the lighting, something like that. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So my question is, obviously, there are other settings like bloom effects, sharpening, saturation, and some other stuff like that. What are the settings that you focus on when taking a photo or taking a screenshot that you
that's really good.
prefer? Yeah,
I just need to have a good contrast and lighting uh
yeah,
panel, and that's it. That is, I don't care about the grain. I always turn it
oh
off.
yeah,
I turn
obviously.
off the sharpen. That is such a useless thing. Like, why would you do that? Why would you ruin your photo by sharpening it and putting grain on it
Yeah,
from the
exactly.
photo mode and then exporting it to a USB? So we don't need that. Filters, they're fine. Like, I don't care for them. I just need a good lighting and contrast panel. That is all I ask for, and a good range. That's it.
Yeah, it's because
But like
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
for lighting, like not every game need to have like lighting or time of day. Um,
Yeah,
the new cool like the trick to have those things is always find doors and always find windows, because when you find like an open house that you can get into that has a door, like door, source of light, window again, source of light, and then you can play around with the contrast, and there you go. You have a really cool portrait.
Yeah, exactly. Great.
Definitely. I think I forget the amount of times I stood in doorways in Assassin's Creed Valhalla to take
Yeah,
background
yeah,
portraits.
yeah, and the like the shadow on their face, and sometimes even when the door has like cool design, it goes on their face, and it just like makes really beautiful shots.
Exactly.
Yeah, great.
Exactly. It's those kind of hints and tips that we were talking about earlier that people just share,
Yeah,
because I think that's the kind of thing that a lot of people would find useful. They probably think that there's some, really in-depth process that people use to get these things when it is just standing next to a door.
yeah, exactly. I remember like back in the day when Zero Dawn came out, and everybody wanted to do the black background, and then there was a
Yeah.
well that you had to climb, like it was a glitch that you had to do
Yeah.
to get that black background, and everybody was like
Yeah.
sharing that video and sharing those tips. And now it's like because of
I-
Twitter, everybody's like doing their own thing, and then they're posting about it, and it's just like it's expanding to everybody, which is amazing.
yeah. I forget the amount of times that I have to kill that Stormwing to try and get to that little well.
Yeah,
Oh dear. But no, that's great question, Ash.
Yes, I think
yeah.
a quick question. Obviously there's a lot of upcoming games this year. Any other upcoming games that you hope there will be a photo mode?
Ooh, Final Fantasy 16.
Oh yes, can't wait for
But then,
that.
yeah, but then seeing how,
They need a decent photo mode this time.
yeah, seeing how 7 remake was, the disaster of that, I don't know. I don't know how good it would be, but
Yeah, see
just the
that's it.
world.
Yeah, yeah, because to me, my opinion on the photo mode for Final Fantasy VII is it's a bit mixed because there's not a lot of things that you can do with it
Yeah,
with photo mode. It's like comparing to Sony PlayStation games. There's lighting. I think you can adjust your facial expressions on some characters in
yeah,
games.
yeah.
But for Final Fantasy VII, you can adjust the character's face or something like that. You can just adjust
No, it's just,
depth of
yeah.
field, sharpening, saturation, something like that. Yeah.
Like I think there is, uh, can you guys hear my dog?
Yeah. A
No.
bit.
You,
It's fine.
sorry. But I think there is like 3 games like photo mode ever, and I'm gonna start with Cyberpunk, Final
Yeah.
Fantasy VII Remake, and God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I suppose with all the tools that we do get, I mean, if you were working at Santa Monica and you thought, okay, we need to put a photo mode in God of War Ragnarok, we've seen what they've done in Horizon, we've seen what they've done in these other games. Come on, guys, we've really got to go at it. And they just kind of went, yeah, maybe not.
Who cares? Yeah,
I think the thing for me in some of these games is the range.
yeah,
I mean, being somebody who takes a lot of portrait shots,
yeah.
I like to get close to the character. And in Final Fantasy, you could not get close enough to the character for my liking.
No, I had to
And
I had to stand beside a cabinet, and so I can like manipulate
yeah,
the camera so it can glitch to go into the to his face closer.
yeah.
But yeah.
It's the same with Hogwarts Legacy. I've just started playing Hogwarts Legacy, so
Oh
don't shoot me, anybody. But
no. Yeah,
um,
that is a
t-
game that I need a photo mode in.
oh, I'm trying to take pictures of my character, however campy he may look. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's not working for me. So yeah, they need a PM in Hogwarts Legacy.
Honestly, the
100%.
saddest thing ever, like to create such a magical world with that many architecture and like oh just the aesthetic and everything, and then not have a photo mode. Like
Yeah,
oh my God. But you know what? They've been dodging the question ever since. Like you can see it in the comments. Hundreds of people, okay, not hundreds, I'm exaggerating, but like multiple people, maybe 10 people are just asking, and then people commenting. And sometimes even the question gets so many likes, and the devs are like
Yeah.
just ignoring it. So that
Mm.
gives me hope for the future that they're working on it and they just don't want to, give any hints.
Hopefully. Thing is, though, it's a kind of love-hate thing, because if you don't have a PM for a game like Hogwarts Legacy, I mean, the game surprised me. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
it's criminal not to have one. But there is something kind of invigorating about old school VP, where you're crouching next to a wall trying to not see a
Yeah.
pointy wizard hat.
Yeah.
It's you're trying to get, and the same with Elden Ring and things like that. Is the things you have to do to try and get you shot.
Yeah, it's like
It makes
it's a challenge, and you're like, can I do it? I think I can do it, and then so you just like go for it.
Exactly, and then you pull off a really good shot, and then you're really proud of
Yeah.
it because you worked so hard for it.
Yeah. And then you see other
Cool,
people
brilliant.
the same technique and having a better shot, and you're like, damn it, I'm gonna go and do that too. How do they do that?
Or you sat there and using your disillusionment spell, trying to get a decent picture, and then somebody who's got it on PC uses their whizzy camera tools to get the shot you were trying to get anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You don't need to apologize.
No, maybe
It's fine.
gives them like an insight to see like, oh, you can do that on PC. Maybe we'll have a good photo mode for console. So yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just say?
Here's hoping.
Can I just say it would be a criminal not to have a photo mode on Hogwarts Legacy?
It is criminal. Yes.
The game is
Let's make
beautiful.
it happen.
Graphics so beautiful, but they don't. I'm sure they're developing it right now. Who knows? If we clip about this interview talking about the photo mode for Hogwarts Legacy and tag Hogwarts Legacy, who knows?
Yeah. Like
Hey.
they post something, I know I'm like really annoying, but I always question and ask them, what about the photo mode? Like anything they post, I just comment, what about the photo mode?
Yeah.
I know it's really annoying, but like I can't help it.
We just need to know the answer, don't we?
Know,
We just need to know the answer.
Exactly,
Is there a photo mode coming? Just say no. If there's not, just say no. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll get over
I
it.
think they're working on it just because like the PS4 version is coming out too, and they don't want to have like a huge range with that, and so they're trying to like work out the PS5 and the PS4 because they don't want to break the game. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they add a photo mode. And the other thing that you'll probably have an opinion on this as well, Sarah. The other thing that hopefully does get put into photo mode is the gaze option from the PC version of The Last of Us Part 1.
Yes.
The PS5 doesn't have.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Like why?
That made me very angry when I saw that the other day.
I'm sure there'll be an update.
Hopefully, if you're going to listen to this at any point, Naughty Dog, which you probably won't, but if you do, can you add that option to PS5 for us as quick as you can?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're going to make a remake, and then we will buy it for another $80, and then it will have the gaze option, and then me, the clown, will buy it again for the gaze option.
Yeah.
I've tried the remake.
We will.
Actually.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, I tried it on PC yesterday, and as you know, there's some issues regarding the shading. I have to wait almost 2 hours for that. Fuck that shit. Sorry.
Wow.
But yeah,
I've seen the memes. It looks crazy.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Joel's face with the black eyebrow, something like that. I have to use that for my profile photo.
Oh my god.
Yes, I love it.
I'm sure they'll fix it in the end.
So,
Obviously, you would have thought that they would do that before they released it, but I'm sure they'll get there in the end.
Yeah.
But thanks for your question, Ash.
Sure, no problem.
It's good to speak to you.
Nice to speak to you guys.
Thank you.
No problem.
It was fun speaking to you too.
Yeah, thanks.
So Sara, we've come to the end of our chat. Was there any need to be nervous?
No.
course there wasn't. Of course there
Am
wasn't.
I am I
It's been
gonna
really, really good
am
speaking.
I gonna use my real voice in my videos now? Maybe.
Yes, do it. Do it.
Well, I'm just gonna
No,
sound
what you need to
like an angry person all the time.
what you need to do is you need to use your own voice, but try and replicate the voice that you use in your YouTube videos.
No, she is too calm. I'm I'm too excited and too,
No, but honestly, it's been. Sorry, carry on.
even for the video for the Hogwarts Legacy, how they don't have a photo mode and tips on how to take photos in it, I am just again shouting and threatening them. And I had to put a disclaimer. I'm like, I am not threatening anybody. No need to send anything. It's just me. I'm just being emotional.
Yeah, maybe don't use your own voice. Then you could get yourself into some trouble.
Exactly. So I'm like, the fake voice gives me power to say whatever I want.
Do it. I think we should all start using the fake voice just for fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll use the fake voice on the next Ask the VP.
Oh my God. Yeah. Imagine.
That'd be brilliant. But no, Sarah, it's been really, really good to speak to you. Thanks for coming on. It's been really interesting. Lots of hints and tips and a bit of an insight into your VP and you as a person. It's been really good to speak to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, this was really fun, and so grateful that you guys even considered to, do this with me.
How could we not? No, it's been really good. You enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll speak soon.
Thank you. And I'm gonna go to work now.
Have fun at work.
Will do. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.